Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Saturday to you and your family. Hope you're having a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Take a look here at BLZ, see what's going on. I get the question a lot, hey, is it going to pull back? Is it going to keep going? What's the deal? My speculation is a pullback, but again, it's overextended for a few days here. It makes sense. We did also fill this fair value gap, and then also there's a lot of liquidity on smaller time frames here at the larger price point. Okay, so now that's all kind of been filled. The price should continue to decrease lower. Again, there's a lot of other things we want to look at, but that's generally the consensus that I can see here so far. So if you are new to the channel, not a financial advisor, love to teach people to trade. Hope you can learn something here today. If you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. We have an amazing community here over on Discord. We took some nice profits here from Injective at 55%, 94% from SHIB, that was a short, and HBAR as well. That helped kind of hedge our longs when we had that massive price breakdown from Bitcoin. But the cool thing is, BLZ is holding on pretty strong here, kind of in the face of danger. It really just stuck through and through, to that. And what's cool is we're going to take a look here at HBAR and Rune here soon as well with some separate videos, so just be mindful for that. And kind of see what's going on, have some fun here today. So with BLZ, again, I always want to say blaze just because it's blazing the trails right now, but we'll keep that for another day. What I want to look at here, though, is a few things. First of all, on the daily, let's talk about this here. We got an overextension, which is quite common in situations like this, right, where you see an RSI that's pushing through a key level resistance or support. In this case, resistance at 70. That's typically the situation. It's breaking through again here today for a third and potentially final attempt. Now, the more often you continue to retest those out levels, the more likely it is for it to reject out. So I'm not saying that the price is going to drop like a rock, but it would make a lot more sense for this to continue lower because we've been overextended for quite a few days now, almost 7 days total on the RSI. Okay, and it's not super common for it to be above or below those levels for that long. Okay, so again, that's kind of just some standard stuff there, of course, not super important, but absolutely important to understand. We also got a lot of volume in the price point of basically 9.5 and roughly 10.5. So what does that mean here for us? Well, it implies that could be a nice strong support level. So the price continues to pull back. We may see a bounce at that level. So just be mindful to take some profits around the 10.5 mark if you're shorting right now. This would be a good consideration. As far as, let's see here, I'm considering for this time frame. Let's also take a look at the moving averages. I know they're going to be a ways off, but it's important to recognize that they are starting to move upwards. Let's look at the 4 hour though, see what those tell us here, because that's going to be a little more relevant. Okay, because again, when the price action continues as fast as it did, the moving averages are going to be slow to respond. That said, though, they are commonly trend setters. So we kind of see here so far, we've got a trend, this ascending trend here, working its way up on the 50-day SMA. Okay, so again, we'll just kind of be mindful of that in the future, kind of see where we're at, but for the most part, we're on the right side of the trend, and there's no other way around it. This coin is still bullish, even if it were to pull back further. That said, take a look at the RSI on the 4 hour. We're not quite at 50 or 70. This is a perfect place. This is exactly where you want to be. So in essence, this does imply that we could see further upside, as long as this next low isn't lower than the previous low, right? So as long as we don't come down to this range here, we should be in good shape. That's kind of where we're at there. So I would say that 7.8 should be the floor, but once again, we'll find out here soon. But it's a distinct probability the price will continue to work itself down a little further before it comes back up, just based on the recent price discovery and kind of where we're at here so far. All right, so again, all in all, looking pretty good here on the 4 hour. That's truly bullish, but once again, you got to recognize that the transitionary time frame, right? So with this being a transitionary time frame, it's telling us that we're still bullish. That'll translate to more bullish candles on the daily. But once more, that doesn't matter too much if you have a lot of value that needs to be established. In other words, let's take a quick look at the fair value gap here. You can see this large little candle wick here, and of course this candlestick body. So what this does imply here is that if price were to pull back, 11 cents would be a logical bouncing point for it to continue higher. If we lose that, we need to make sure that we don't go any lower than this 0.618 level there at about 10.50 to ensure the price will bounce off that level too. So for lack of better terms here, we're in a situation right now where this coin is overextended, has a lot of momentum, a lot of volume, right? So we take a look at the volume, still a decent amount of volume compared to the previous. Okay? You take a look at this volume, I mean, just almost flat until the most recent 7 or 8 days, right? So in truth, the price is looking pretty good here. It could and should sustain itself, but it would make sense for it to consolidate at this lower level. let's talk a little bit more about this this hourly. Okay, this is where things kind of get interesting in a small way. And what I mean by that is just that, with a coin like this, situations like this occur all the time, right? Where the price action comes up, performs like a pennant breakout pattern, and then continues higher. We've seen a second one here as well. It's rare for the second breakout to occur, but it can happen. So keep in mind, there's still potential for this to continue to run. I think it's less likely though, because if we do look at the larger time frames, just say for example the weekly, we see this key level resistance here that we're kind of testing right now. Okay? So unless we can consolidate at this current price point 11 cents or higher, there's probably it's a fairly distinct probability the price is going to continue lower from here, because again this weekly rejection level consistently holds the price action in place. So it's important to be mindful that that previous resistance will work to continue to work itself as a current resistance level until it's officially broken. And I know what you're saying. Hey, well, we've been above that price point for about at least 12 hours now. While that's true, we need to understand that this candlestick hasn't closed yet, and this weekly candle still has a full day and a half left. Yeah. So again, still a little premature in that sense to kind of just say that we've broken bullish, even though it is still very much so moving upwards. Okay, so again, I would say taking a long right now would be more risky than taking a short position. Again, low leverage, low position sizing, I would say, but at this point, if we can't consolidate at this 11-cent mark, then there's a strong probability we're going to see the price continue lower. Okay, so again, just something to think about. Let's take a look here at the Ichimoku Cloud. Just confirm that we got a good 12 hours before this price will essentially reverse itself. So for lack of better terms, what I mean by that is if the price goes sideways longer, then we have a chance of continuing upwards to stay above the cloud. If the price breaks below this level, then we're going to start having some trouble because we're going to naturally be below the cloud, and we'll see a further downside. So if we see a closure below, to say 11.30, right in that range today, distinct probability we'll see a further downside. If it can stay above this level, that it would establish confirmation above that level. Then if we get that candlestick closure to say 24 hours from now, this time tomorrow when the weekly closes, we should be in good shape to take a long at that point comfortably. Again, knowing that we're able to maintain a price point above this level. Right now, it's just kind of gambling and hoping for the best because we don't know if it's going to stay above or below this range. So again, a lot of this stuff comes with patience. I'm sure if you've been patient this whole time, you might have caught the top of the end of this short. I know some communities that were doing that, but generally speaking, at this point, we're kind of in that middle ground where it's probably best to wait for a direction to be set. And to me, a closure above or below 11.30 this time tomorrow would make a lot more sense to me. And at that point, I'll consider a position. Okay, so again, unless we see the price action surge up right now and become overextended once more, I wouldn't be interested in a short just because we're kind of closer to the potential bottom range of that short. And then the inverse applies as well, where I would be careful taking a long because we're testing a key level support and we don't know if it's going to hold yet or not. So far, it's holding pretty decent, but once again, these things can change pretty quickly. Okay, so I would just be patient, wait for the next overextension if it were to. And again, a candlestick closure this time tomorrow, just say tomorrow's daily or just say the weekly candlestick closure above or below this 11.3 Fibonacci retracement level would be important to kind of determine up or down. That's my speculation there. All right, so hopefully this was beneficial and it did provide some clarity. I know that there's a lot of different case scenarios here, and there's no exact trading style that's perfect. So just recognize that these are my own thoughts. These are things that I consider myself, and just because I'm a fairly consistent trader doesn't mean I am massively profitable like those super high risk traders out there. You got to recognize that. I more so like to be able to secure realistic profits. Most of our trades are 5 to 10x at most. Again, that's just because they're swing trades. It's not a great swing trade scenario right now. I mean, we saw what happened with Bitcoin a couple of days ago. It's difficult to swing trade sometimes. So if you are to do that, again, that's where the low position sizing comes into place, and especially low leverage. But if you're day trading like a crazy man, then go for it. Again, I'm not calling you crazy because of that. I did that for years, almost 15 years of my life. I just don't like to stare at the charts all day, every day. Again, different strokes for different folks, whatever you want. Either way, if you want to become a better trader, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. We do have a promotion right now, Summer Sale 23, and effectively have a lot of new members coming over. So again, awesome Discord community. Really appreciate all the awesome people that are coming in here and interacting. We have a good time. It's really a lot of fun, and there's some really good educational content too. We talked about this Bitcoin dominance thing there. We're right now at this point where the price of Bitcoin is down and the Bitcoin dominance is low. So we're starting to see some stability in stable coins. Okay. Again, 2 days ago, different story altogether. But a lot of the longs and the liquidations kind of just fully washed out the system, and now we're starting to see some good coins take off, such as BlueZell. All right. Well, I hope that you had a good learning experience. Have a great rest of the day. Let me know below if you have any interest in questions, concerns, etc. Jump on over to our Discord and or our Twitter here. Really cool stuff there as well. Get to interact with everyone. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks again for the wonderful feedback. Have a great rest of your day and wonderful weekend. See you again soon.